Greetings. Get ready to embark on an extraordinary journey exploring the world of white hat hacking, or ethical hacking, doing penetration tests, also known as pen tests. We will do all this using a VM in your Proxmox home lab server. Originally, we wanted to install Kali Linux, but we decided to give you a choice as to what VM to create. You see, Kali Linux takes 2 to 3 hours to install. Our intentions is to do things legally. So this is our first video with a disclaimer. In this short video, we'll walk you through 2 exciting installations. Today, we'll uncover why you should first use Nmap to do the initial pen. Finally, we will use Metasploit and do the final and deeper pen tests. So buckle up and prepare to be amazed by the brilliance of this video. We kindly ask for your support by giving our video a thumbs up. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to our Proxmox and DevOps expert, Nico. Please note that Nico has a charming Dodecanese European accent, while fluently speaking the Queen's English. Over to you, Nico.
Thank you, Josh. Hi there. Today's video is going to be a short video. We are hoping that you will find it interesting. Before we start this video, please allow us to read the disclaimer, as we feel this video must come with a disclaimer. We provide this information for training or doing white hat hacking. This is not a hacking training course. However, the instructions provided will show you how to identify vulnerabilities in your servers. Do not use this on networks that you are not authorized to access. That is illegal and against the spirit of ethical hacking. We are going to use Metasploit and Nmap. We will install them in a VM in our Proxmox server that we will use to do penetration testing in the VMs in our Proxmox server. You may find this useful to verify the state of the virtual machines in your Proxmox server to ensure that you don't have vulnerabilities or exposures. Originally, we wanted to use this installing it on Kali Linux, but we decided that we'd rather give you the choice in which machine you want to use it. Kali Linux takes about 2 to 3 hours to do the full installation. You may not want to spend so much time doing that, in which case you may want to look at one of the Ubuntu machines. We wanted to have a Mint Linux machine in our Proxmox server so that we could use this as a workstation. Consequently, we decided that we would use that machine and install both Nmap as well as Metasploit. Since Mint Linux is built on Ubuntu Linux, you could also use an Ubuntu Linux. Enough said, let's get our fingers dirty. We have provided a link to our blog page below so that you can follow us and do the same on your Proxmox server. Over here we have instructions to install Kali Linux if you want to do that. And over here we have instructions to install Mint Linux. And then below that, instructions to install Metasploit. So that we don't spend too much time doing that, we will give you a brief rundown on how we created our Mint Linux. You click on the Create VM button, you give this thing a name, you go to the OS. I had previously downloaded Mint Linux, the latest version, 21.3. In the system, we leave that as is. We're happy. We click on disks, allocate at least 40 or 60 gigs. Let's make it 60. CPUs, you want to leave it with one socket. This depends on your hardware. In my case, I will want to leave it with one socket but allocate 2 cores. In memory, I don't like 2048. I prefer to give it 4 gigs. So 4 096. Then in network, I leave it the same. I'm happy with mine. And then you go to confirm. In your case, you will click finish. It will create the VM. In my case, I'm going to just close it. And there's my VM already created. Over here, we have the instructions for installing Metasploit. You need to open this VM in the console. So if you click the console, it opens up like this. And then if you look at the bottom, you see there's a button here where you click to open the terminal. And then these are the commands you run. Sudo su- update, upgrade. Well, let's run these commands. Sudo su- update. I'm not going to run upgrade. You will run upgrade. So I'm just going to say Control C. Then you run this command here. I've already run that, so I'm just going to say Control C. And when you've done that, you can now SSH to this machine. I've made a note that this works with Mint 21.3 as I have tested it before creating this video. So let's close this. I'm now going to open the terminal in my own machine and I'm going to SSH to that machine. Now that I'm in there, I want to run sudo su- and the password, and I'm in. Now this is the command you want to run. It's a very long command, so I suggest you copy it and paste it into a notepad. In my case, an editor, so that you only grab the command itself, copy, and paste this into the terminal. I've already done this while I was preparing for this video. So in my case, I will just type Control C. In your case, you will press Enter. And then after you've done that, all you need to do is run this command. Copy, paste. Metasploit is starting. And it brings you up to a prompt. I'm going to exit, as I also need to demonstrate how we use Nmap to do scanning. You will notice when you ran this command in the console, you were installing Nmap, curl, and OpenSSH server. And that is it. Now that we've installed Metasploit, let's go to the next section, section 3. Now in here I explain there's different kinds of scans. There's the SYN scan. I suggest you read this in your own time. It explains how these different scans work. This is a stealthy scan. Sometimes you want to scan so that you are not appearing in the server logs. It can be annoying, and sometimes then they have to explain why these security events occurred on their network. Therefore, you will use stealth scans. Let's start with the first one. You will notice this is a quick scan. I've actually written the expected time there. I have VMs and servers. I'm scanning the first 46 IP addresses. So my network is 10.154.2 from .1 up to .46. So copy this command, paste it in here. And we're now running that stealth scan. And that's done. Let's just put some lines here. Now let's go to the next. In this scan, we are going to detect the operating system. This is useful. Sometimes you want to have quick wins. So you want to detect what operating systems are running. And if you find Microsoft Windows machines, those are the ones you want to do your penetration scans first, because you will get quick wins and you'll be able to test those. They're the ones that really need the penetration scans to see what vulnerabilities they have, if they have. If the people who maintain them have been doing the proper patches and keeping the servers up to date, you might find that they've hardened the machines. If not, you will be able to produce a report of those machines that failed. Run this. Copy. Paste. Unfortunately, I don't have any Microsoft machines running on my network. So I'm not going to get that kind of problem. But if you do have, at least you'll be able to know what the problems are. This definitely will help you. Let's start from the first one. It has opened my first router and it has shown me that I have one port open, and that's port 80. That's good. Then it has opened my second router, which is my gateway, and it has identified that I have these ports open. And finally, it has opened this machine that I'm running the tests from, my Mint Linux. And here it's shown me that I've only got 2 ports open, 22, which is my SSH, and port 4000. And with that, let's carry on. We now will run a version detection. This will take a minute. And we have our results. Now this scan gave us more information. Let's have a look what we got. For the first router, we got a lot more information from this scan. It's identified that we have a Cisco Linksys router, which is correct. For the second router, we have a lot more information. And it's identified that it's a D-Link. That's also correct. And it's even given us the information on the kernel that it's running Linux. And then finally, for the machine that we were testing, our Linux machine, Mint Linux machine. You see, it's identified this machine is running Ubuntu. Well, that's not a lie, actually, because Mint Linux is built on Ubuntu Linux. So that's actually quite good. And it's also told us that we got port 22 open with OpenSSH and the version number of that. You see, this is useful for an expert, because with this information they can know, right, they got these versions. These are the tools we can use to do deeper penetration tests. That's fine. I'm happy with these results. We are now going to do an Nmap where we are going to specify a range of ports as well as a range of IPs. So this is useful if you know what the ports are. and you know what the IP addresses are. This ran very quickly. It ran in 2 seconds. And you see for the first router, it has told us there it found that port is open. The rest are filtered, so that's fine. And if we go to the second router, you'll see there's quite a few ports open on this one. We did find a similar report earlier in the previous scan. When you are doing penetration scans as a white hat hacker, you want to provide a report to give to the customer or for the organization. Let's say you are an organization and you volunteered to pen test their infrastructure. You want to be able to give them a report. So this is a good report. It will show them all the popular ports and the condition that they have. In other words, what's open and what's closed. Let's now go to the next scan. This is the last scan that we will do with the IP range. I just want to go back to this. This is what they call a no-ping scan. This is another way to scan where we don't do a ping. So let's copy this and paste it. That was a quick scan. It took 7 seconds, and let's see what we got. In this scan, we got a list of ports and what they are that are open for the second router, which was our D-Link. And then also for the first router, there was one port open, and it identified that router as a Cisco Linksys router. And then finally, for our Mint Linux VM, it identified these 2 ports, 22 and 4000. So that's what this scan gave us as a report. You'll see that a lot of these scans produce similar outputs. I've done 10 of the most popular ones. There are more that's beyond the scope of this video. In this case, we scanned an IP range. We are now going to do a different approach. We are now going to create a file. So copy this command, and we're going to create a file called target devices. We're going to use this for Nmap scanning. If you look over here, I have an instruction to create the target folder. Copy. I've already done that, so I'm just going to press Ctrl+C. But the next command, that command there, copy, paste. Now we're in the right folder. I've already created 2 files. There they are. You would run this command. And in this file, I have specified the IP addresses of the machines that I'm interested in. Ctrl+S and Ctrl+X to save. So let's go back to that section there. That was the file. And in my case, it was those 3 machines. Now, you'll notice that I'm running the same commands that I ran earlier, this command, but instead of an IP range, I'm now going to give it the file. Notice that I use dash lowercase I, uppercase L, and then the file where these IP addresses are. So that's the command we are going to run. And this will take 6 seconds, according to my previous test. And we've already run this command before, but this time we have run it with a file instead of IP range. In the first case, we put a IP range so that we could find the machines. Once we found the machines, we could take the machines that we were interested, put them in a file. And you can then run all of these. To save time, I'm just going to run the last one. And we got the same results back. So you now have two ways to work with Nmap. Having done that, now we want to start testing with Metasploit. I'm now going to create a file where I'm going to keep the devices or the machines that I want to do Metasploit testing. So let's copy this command, paste it in here, and you'll notice I've now removed the routers because we don't want to waste time with Metasploit testing routers. So there's my machine, Control SX. Now that I've done that, I'm now going to run this command. Although it's an Nmap command, it is going to run a script vulnerability. If you add Windows machines in your Metasploit devices file, this will identify holes in those machines that you can recommend to be fixed. As an ethical hacker, we make recommendations so that people can keep their network infrastructure secure. So let's paste this command here. Right, this took a half a minute to run. Let's have a look and see what it found. The scripts failed. That's not because there was something wrong with them, but they failed to find vulnerabilities in my Linux machine. So I'm impressed with Ubuntu. They're doing a good job, and so is Mint, the Mint Linux team. They're both doing a good job on their machines. So these were all the tests that we did using Nmap. We are now going to look at Metasploit. You can run this command without sudo because we are already logged in as root. Now, had we found vulnerabilities, we would have searched for the vulnerability code. But since we didn't find vulnerabilities in our Mint Linux, we can't run this command. We will now try to do a penetration scan using Metasploit. So we are going to search for scanner. Search scanner. And you see it's found 638 scanners. We are interested in a particular one. Let's go back to our page. This is what we are looking for. We want to search for this. To do that, you can go here and you can say find and paste this in. And it's found the scan we want. So let's copy this and go to the bottom, paste it in here. We found the scan we want. Let's go back and see what we have to do. We have to say use. So use, and then that scan that we found. Having done that, we now need to set our host, in other words, the machine that we want to test. Now, I need to change that IP. My server is .40. In actual fact, my Linux machine is .40. So I'm now going to penetrate my Mint Linux machine. Okay, I've done that. After doing that, then you can now say run. So let's type run. Press enter. It's run a scan, and guess what? We don't have vulnerabilities on this machine. There are a lot more commands and a lot more features that you can do with Metasploit, but this is enough for now to give you an idea of what you can do, and hopefully it'll get you testing your own infrastructure. Thank you for watching this video. Please give us a like. We would love you to subscribe to our channel as we have not reached our target since we started this channel a year ago. And with that, over to you there, Josh.
Thank you for watching this video, exploring the world of white hat hacking, doing pen tests. After watching this video, we now have a better understanding of white hat hacking, making us able to run our pen tests. Nico demonstrated how to scan our network using Nmap to identify machines of interest. Finally, Nico demonstrated how to use Metasploit doing deep pen tests. With this knowledge, we encourage you to learn more about ethical hacking. It is a good career move as there is a high demand for security specialists. If you have not given us a like, please do so. Your dedication to exploring Proxmox's capabilities is invaluable. Stay tuned for more insights, automation, and empowerment through its incredible tools for your home lab. Please like and comment to share your feedback and suggestions for our channel. If you found this video valuable, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest content and tutorials, ensuring you never miss out on informative videos. Your support is crucial for our channel's growth. For those eager to deepen their knowledge, consider becoming a Patreon supporter for exclusive access to upcoming training courses, enriching your expertise and supporting the channel. We genuinely appreciate your support and look forward to sharing more enriching content with you. Stay curious, keep exploring, and continue harnessing Proxmox's remarkable potential in your home lab and DevOps journey. Thank you for being part of our community.